This is a test, this is a test, this is a test. Let me know if you guys can hear me a-okay. We'll be beginning in around 10 minutes. Today is going to be a very interesting stream. I have a few ideas that I do want to discuss with you guys. The good, the bad, and the ugly is going to be the theme. And FYI, I've missed you guys so very much. It's been around a week since I've done a stream, but hey, I'm back now, and it's gonna be a good week. So again, let me know in the live chat if you guys can hear me okay, if the music's too loud, if the music's too soft, etc, etc. I'm going to turn off the music for a quick bit. Just testing something, so just give me a quick second, guys. Alright, so 5 minutes. That test was successful, so we may have some more scalability on these streams very soon. Let's see. Francisco says, we are here and ready. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Looks like I have equipment to go grab a quick supplemental side drink. Oh, looks like I took more than a minute. All right, let's get the show started, guys. Let's get this show started. And good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dexter, and I welcome you to the Mango live stream. We are back, we are back, we are back. Happy freaking Sunday to all of you. Man, I've missed you guys. I've missed doing this. Had to take a break for a tad bit, because if I tend to overdo this, I tend to get burnt out, and I had a lot of readings to catch up on. I'm all caught up, kinda. I have a huge reading list, but I had a few ideas that I wanted to get out to you guys, and hey, it is a Sunday. We're about to close a very, very important weekly candle leading into a very important monthly close, and everyone seems to be panicking because Plan B's target did not hit. My, oh my, oh my, who would have thought? I wonder I want. This is why at Mango we use technical analysis as a risk management tool, and we never ever try to time any tops, any targets. We play the trend. We keep it Mango. We keep it stress freaking free. When you don't have exorbitant targets within exorbitant time frames in mind, when they do come, you're just happy. And if they don't come, what do? You spend your time on the beach. And hey, FYI, that's exactly what Krisha and I will be doing in around 2 weeks. We have our annual Christmas vacation planned. And you know, this is like my 4th vacation this year. I was talking to Krisha about how we aren't grateful enough for this life that we are leading as traders, because we get to choose when and how we work. When we do work, we work really, really hard. We focus. We get our bang for our buck on our trades. And when we want to just kick back, we kick back. We don't gotta ask no boss for permission to take 2 weeks vacation. And hey, can I extend my vacation by a couple of days, boss, please? No, none of that. None of that. None of that anymore, at the very least. So hey, before we get started, by the way, let me tell you the agenda for today, because today is going to be a tad bit different, where we're going to be having a theme. I realize there's a theme to today's analysis. We're going to be discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of 3 charts. And within those 3 charts, there's good, there's bad, and the ugly. So we're going to be discussing Bitcoin. We're going to be discussing Ethereum. We're going to be discussing Cardano. And do you guys want to take a guess as to which one is which one is the good, which one is the bad, which one is the ugly? But it doesn't really matter, because within these charts there's good, bad, and the ugly anyway. So we're going to be discussing that in today's stream, and then we're going to be taking all kind of requests. Of course, we'll look at some of the mid caps, the low caps, the shitcoin caps, the DeFi caps, whatever you guys want to. But before we do that, let's see who we have on the chat here today. Murali's in here. How's it going, Murali? Julian, I'm so glad you're here, Julian. I had no doubt that you were going to be here, though, but glad nonetheless. And Sherwin is in here too. Core made it today. How's it going, Core? And we have the beautiful, the gorgeous, the love of my life, Krisha is in here too. How's it going, Krisha? Any ideas? Any trade ideas for you to share with us? She caught the Gala trade, right? The Gala idea. I'm not sure she caught the actual trade, but she did catch the Mana trade, the Decentraland trade, as well as the idea. She's been on a roll recently. I don't know how she does this. I don't know how she finds these trades, but hey, when you find a hot hand, it's our job as a community to follow that hot hand, as long as we risk manage, right? So yeah, good job, Krisha, good job. I have a drink here, but it's not, it wasn't strong enough, so I got another drink here. That's, of course, it's non-alcoholic, right? Because I don't know YouTube's terms and conditions, etc., etc. So yeah, give me a really chilled out stream if you guys haven't figured out yet. Gin and chill, Murali. How's it going, Siddharth? How's it going, my man? Education and chill. Yeah, let's try to make this one an educational stream, if you guys do have questions. But I do want to address a couple of ideas I do have first, because there's been a lot of speculation on a panic move that could come in the markets very soon, right? Like, essentially people are saying, hey, there's a new COVID strain, I believe, in Africa that is spreading very, very quickly, the fastest strain, I believe, and it could cause another black swan event. Black swan events, by the way, by the nature of it being a black swan event, cannot be predicted, right? If everyone's talking about it, it's usually already baked into the price. So it's really hard to get those kind of events unless we do have some massive over leverage and overconfidence in the market, regardless of what price is doing. All right, so if you guys do enjoy these streams, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys don't enjoy the stream, do something. Hit the dislike button. Do something, guys. Don't be so complacent. Sean, is that 10,000 target from others real? People have a $10,000 target on Bitcoin now. That's interesting. When I talked about $14,000, $12,000 Bitcoin, people called me nuts. And I talked about it through a pure TA perspective, right? And we can kind of entertain those ideas today as well, because there's a possibility, but there's always a few things that need to happen first before we can entertain that idea, right? A few very strong things need to happen before we can entertain the idea, and we can talk about it. But to look for those targets right off the bat, just like how people were saying 100,000 by end of year, right? Now, Mango is bullish on Bitcoin long term, but we never entertained the idea of 100,000 by end of year. If it happened, we'd be happy, but we are looking for things to happen before that, before we look for 100,000 at the end of the year. Now, could 100,000 happen within the next 6 months? I think so. But would I put a timeline on that? No. Would I put a timeline on 10,000 either? No. We can look for if then that conditions. If this, then that. Oh, Jesus. Maybe my drink is strong enough. I'm losing my words. Just save this Elliott wave idea, man. Elliott wave is too complicated for my life. None of us need any of that. Let me turn on my air conditioner. Hey Robert, how's it going, man? Let me enjoy the music too. Jesus. You see, my ponytail prevents me from having a good experience on the streams with you guys. Is the music too low or soft, by the way, or is it fine for you guys? Yeah, I hit the apologies for the echo. I just realized that too. Thank you, Philippe. Yeah, Charlie. The stream hasn't officially started yet. Waiting for people to hop in. And honestly, I just want to talk to you guys a tad bit before we begin. It's been a while. I see Ethereum bouncing a good $100. John Jardine says, good morning, Sean and Krisha. I am thinking about joining your program. Hey, that's awesome, man. But could you please explain what the advantage is rather than just holding from the bear market lows? You mean the advantage of technical analysis, I believe that's what you're asking for. Okay, so firstly, if you are looking to trade technical analysis, a lot of people think that technical analysis is a profit-taking tool where you can predict where prices are going to go, right? So for example, most recently there have been predictions from analysts, right? Prominent analysts saying, hey, 100,000 by so-and-so date, or another analyst saying, hey, 20,000 by so-and-so date. And a lot of people have been PMing me about this, but those things, while they may seem fancy and flashy, and they may actually draw a lot of attention from people when those targets are hit, they aren't actionable. They aren't actionable because that's not what technical analysis is for. Technical analysis is for risk management. What allows you to do is to put on aggressive or mid to aggressive trades during a bull market and manage your risk, right? So instead of just waiting on cyclical lows and cyclical highs to put on a trade, we can get a lot more aggressive in a safe manner during the bull market, where we add, like over here at Mango, we like to add as prices go up and up and up and up. We did that for Chainlink, we did that for Cardano. And what technical analysis allows you to do is get out of the trade when you start seeing weakness on the charts at the right opportunistic times. That's what technical analysis is for. It allows you to risk manage, right? That's what we teach at C2. Like the first few modules alone focuses on mindset, on a fun way of risk management, right? I try to approach risk management to our seedlings with really a fun story mode kind of way. And I'm proud to say that a lot of them have taken up to that mindset. So it's hard to explain, but you should talk to the seedlings more than me explaining it to you, because of course I'm going to be biased. You should talk to the seedlings and look at the reviews section too, or the testimonial section that Krish has posted up on the Discord. But the advantage, more so than anything in technical analysis, is risk management. It's not that, hey, you can now become rich because you know TA, because you will catch really, really, really good trades even without TA, by the way, right? People have done that all the time by just following a call channel or following the latest hype or the latest trend. Look at Dogecoin traders, right? Dogecoin hodlers. They've held on to trades that have made them massive amounts of money, but they've given it all back to the freaking market. Why? Because they did not know when to get out. But when we traded Shiba Inu, we knew when to get out because of that very idea, technical analysis. It's not about catching the win. Catching the win is just luck. We say that all the time over here, right? Whenever I catch a winning trade, it's just pure luck, right? But the real skill comes in managing your risk. So, Sherwin says, seed is a way of life, to be honest. That is so true. Yeah, we have a different mindset in there, different culture completely compared to other traders in the crypto sphere primarily. He says, seed is a way of life, to be honest, more so than clean risk management strategy or trend trading strat. It taught me so much more than TA. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm so glad to hear that, Sherwin. It was always meant to be more than just your normal, hey, learn how to draw lines on a chart kind of program. Alright, so we're about to begin, guys. Alright, so do you guys want to start with the good, the bad, or the ugly? I think we should start with the good. Hey Dipesh, how's it going, man? Yeah, long time, man, long time. It's been almost a week since I've done a stream. Needed to take a break. Had a lot of readings to catch up on. Always invest in your education, guys. Always invest in your education. Always. And there's no way, there's not anything more that you could learn, right? Oh, you want to talk some macro, Siddharth? Yeah, we can talk about macro. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in macro. All right. We're going to be starting with Bitcoin, but we're going to be starting with the dashboard. So let me just sit up, take a quick sip. Yeah, we look at altcoins towards the after we finish our agenda for today. Yeah, essentially going to be covering Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Cardano. All right. And for the most part, we're going to be sticking towards sticking on the higher time frames. All right, so with that, okay, so we're going to be starting with Bitcoin, and as usual, we're going to be starting with the dashboard right over here. And as we can see, Bitcoin is sitting in a neutral / consolidation trend position on the 2-day time frame. This is really important, guys, and it's been sitting in this position for around 5 days. Okay, on the daily, actually, it's in a short position. On the 12-hour, not looking so hot either. On the 4-hour, not looking so hot either, right? So 2-day is neutral, daily is short, 12-hour is short, and the 4-hour short. This isn't a buy the dip leverage trade environment. Okay, when you look at this, when you see that the mid time frame, the higher mid time frames like the 2-day is not giving you a upward trend, the lower time frames, the daily leading all the way down to the 4-hour, they're all showing you a downtrend. That is literally giving you it's screaming at you, literally screaming at you, saying that, hey, momentum all the way from the higher time frames, the mid to higher time frames, towards the lower time frames is all going against you. Momentum is going against you if you are looking for long trades. So would you be looking to leverage over here? No. Because as bullish as you might be on Bitcoin, okay, as bullish as you might be on the long term, within that short term, you cannot bet against a capitulation event that will liquidate your leverage. The way we like to trade with leverage at Mango is, one, we do it more so for capital efficiency, and two, we want the momentum to be to be with us, not against us. If the momentum is with you on the lower time frames leading all the way to the mid time frames, in those cases, guys, you can get aggressive with your trend trading, with your ads. Why? Because you essentially know that dips are likely going to get bought up, right? A capitulation event, while it may happen, is a lot more rare. And if the trend is aggressively going towards your favor, those dips are likely have to beat through all of those high lows on multiple time frames that we will show you guys on the charts very soon. So would I be looking just through the dashboard, looking at Bitcoin over here? I am not looking to have any leverage trades whatsoever. 6 days ago, almost, the 2-day time frame of Bitcoin switched to neutral. Not too interested at all. As bullish as I am on Bitcoin, not going to be stubborn. Because do you know who my priorities are? To Krisha, to my mom, to my brother, to all my other extended family members, to be able to give them a beautiful life, to put roofs on their head, multiple roofs on their heads, and food on their plates. So never, ever get emotional on any coin, and don't let that emotion allow you to get into bad positions. I've seen people do that recently, especially on coins like Cardano, for example, and they've got hurt badly. So don't do that. Okay, so the 2-day all the way down to the low time frames is not looking bullish. All right, not looking bullish. Now let's look at the weekly. Okay, the weekly is still long, guys. The weekly is long, and it's been long for 48 days. However, look at the returns. The returns are saying 0.16%, negative 0.16%. So essentially, all the returns that Bitcoin has given us since its long signal on the weekly time frame on the dashboard, well, Bitcoin has literally given it all back. Okay, so for people who want to trade the weekly long over here, it's an opportunity to say that, hey, I missed the initial long signal, but I'm getting an opportunity to buy again, because essentially it's pulled back that much, because you still have weekly momentum going for you, right? But on the weekly time frame, you do not want to be putting on high leverage trades. If you want to be putting on leverage trades, you got to be very cautious with it, and it's got to be very low leverage trades. All right, I wouldn't even recommend doing it, because the current state of Bitcoin's consolidation, especially if you're using the the Mango risk management techniques that we teach in Seed, right? You may not even need leverage with the kind of position sizes that you can get and, well, pull it off. So weekly discussed, long still. So the high time frames are still going for you. on the dashboard, but all the way from the 4-hour to the 2-day is not looking so good right now. With that, we can go on over to the charts and start putting these ideas together and see what we have over there. We're going to start with the weekly time frame because we're closing the weekly, and then we're going to look at the 2-day time frame. All right, so back on over to the charts right over here. And we're looking at Bitcoin over here, and I have a couple of lines drawn out and a red box over here that will show you guys where I got that from very soon. But those of you who have been following, you guys probably already know. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the dynamic, okay, just to put everything into context first. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting very slightly underneath the dynamic. We're about to close this candle in 11 hours and 34 minutes. If we do close above, then in that case, it's a good sign. Okay, the top of the weekly dynamic zone has been held. If we close underneath though, then there's a chance that towards the next week, right, we could actually meet the bottom of the dynamic zone, coming in at around $52,000. So again, if you guys don't even have access to the dynamic, this is a weekly chart, right? So it's not going to change much. It's going to change very slowly. It's going to only change in the next weekly tick. And the next weekly tick, albeit is in 11 hours and 34 minutes, but this is not going to change much at its current juncture. So the numbers right here are around 55,000 towards the upside, and towards the bottom we're looking at 52,000 weekly dynamic. If we close underneath, I'll be looking towards 52,000 just based off this. Okay, but this is not the end of the analysis. We're going to be looking at several other things. If we lose the weekly dynamic, we can also look towards the actual Ichimoku template. And in that case, guys, there's a chance that even though we meet the bottom of or rather we hold the bottom of the weekly dynamic, which is $52,000, there's a chance we actually wick on over to the Tenkin, coming in around 49,000. Okay, so think about the black swan event that everyone's talking about right now. Everyone's talking about a capitulation event, a scare, over leverage, blah, 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 right? If we do see that, right, is it really unforeseeable that we hold levels on a candid closing basis? Because remember, we are about to close this week. Next week, we have an entire 7 days to go. A lot of volatility in Bitcoin is not new, right? We could see extreme volatility, a massive wick by the end of the week, right? With the candle closing, I wouldn't say bullish, but pretty well, considering what the week or what price action transpired throughout the week. So with that, I want you guys to entertain the idea that we actually wick not only on over to the Tenkin, but maybe underneath the Tenkin over here on the weekly, and then still close on the weekly dynamic levels above the $52,000 level. So let's go back on over to the Tenkin to get an idea of where the Tenkin's coming in at. The Tenkin is coming in at around $49,000. Remember this number, guys. $49,000. Julian, Julian, Sherwin, you guys are going to be particularly interested in this analysis. Wolvie's here too, so Wolvie, you're going to be interested. Krisha, I know you're going to love this. You're going to love where I'm going with this, right? I haven't discussed this with Krisha either, guys. So let me take a sip of my drink. All right. Where was I? All right. Yeah. So the Tenkin, if we actually wick maybe even underneath the Tenkin, defend the Tenkin though, and also defend the dynamic, we could close about $50,000. We'd have essentially a formation, a trend formation that looks something like this, right? Let me just draw that again with, okay, something like this at that point, and then we'd be looking for upside. So structurally, right? Structurally, a trend trader could make the argument that the trend of the weekly time frame is still intact, and I'll discuss this with a little bit more detail very soon. Okay, but you could make that argument. Would I make that argument? I actually would not, right? And some of you might be surprised with that, and I know some people are making that argument, but I would not. I would err on the side of caution and call this a higher low, right? So, and again, there's no right way of doing this, right? You could say that, hey, low, higher low, high, higher high, low, right? And then we've taken out that low, right? But to be fair, there's a very strong argument to be made saying that this is the high, this is the high, this is your low, and you haven't put in a higher low yet, right? So that higher low could be coming in somewhere around here, around dip underneath the 10K. Again, guys, keep in mind, we are right now discussing the ugly scenario where we do see that black swan event. We do not even know whether that is coming, right? We don't know black swan, right? I mean, come on, guys. A black swan is going to be something like this, like all the way down to 15,000, in my opinion. Bitcoin has literally pulled back only around 17%, and people are losing their shit. Like, how much is that? Okay, around 20%, right? It's not really much, but if we do go down lower, it might be a surprise for a lot of people, considering we made a high already. But it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. Let's entertain the possibilities though, because there are trading opportunities around this, big opportunities actually, because lining up with a great idea that I have, and I will be looking to buy this idea hardcore. Could be wrong on ideas, but I will be looking to put on a position on this idea. So pay attention, guys. Pay the freaking attention, because it's going to give you opportunity not just on Bitcoin, it's going to be opportunity on Cardano as well as Ethereum. When all of this lines up, you're going to see Cardano's hitting key levels, Ethereum's going to be hitting key levels. It's just going to be a beautiful picture of a buy opportunity in the middle of a bull market. All right, so right over here we're talking about weekly could come and meet the 10K. Okay, dynamic coming in at around 55,000 towards the upside and 52,000 at the bottom. 10K coming in around 48,000 ish. Now I'm going to switch on over to the 2-day time frame. Okay, this is something we've been looking at, especially on the dynamic. Okay, guys, I've been using the 2-day dynamic to protect my trend trades towards the upside and towards the downside, right? So essentially my leverage trades, especially if we lose the 2-day dynamic, I am out of any trend trades. If we regain the 2-day dynamic, especially if we close 2-day candles above it, I am back into my trend trades. Very, very simple, right? So you're essentially able to capture these kind of leverage trades over here. You hedge your position underneath, you capture this leverage trade over here, and then again, right over here, we were talking about this while it was happening, during the move, when we came and tested it. We were hoping Bitcoin would hold it. It did not, right? We closed. We gave a fake out, almost reclaimed it, but not really. You guys can see that we saw resistance at the top of the box. Did not really clear the top of the top. So by the way, this box is coming essentially from a combination of horizontals and the 2-day dynamic over there. So you guys can see that Bitcoin, while it actually came to the top of the dynamic, we almost immediately gave it back up on the next 2-day candle. Okay, we're about to close a 2-day candle on this weekly candle close. So we're not just closing a 2-day, guys. So we're not just closing a weekly, we're closing a 2-day as well. So it's gonna be a very, very, very important candle. We close underneath the dynamic. What do we do right after? We gave the bottom of the dynamic a retest, but did not close back into it. If we started chopping within it, into it, the bulls could have made an argument in my mind, but that was a clear rejection. Okay, again, we failed the bulls at the time, as in me too at the time, because I was clearly a bull. We weren't able to reclaim that bottom of the dynamic, right? What do we do right after? That was even a worse sign. We came in, tested the top of the 2-day dynamic, and that was a hard rejection. This is a hard rejection right over here. So not a good sign, not an environment that I would want to have leverage trades. These were both exit opportunities. Exit. This was a mega exit opportunity, especially after we saw these 2 candles over here, guys. Those 2 were mega exit opportunities. Okay. And again, very, very, very simple technical analysis, along with that mango mindset that we've been teaching over here for a very, very long time, saying that, hey, the markets can be far more generous than you think, and they give you very clean exits as long as you're willing to be wrong, willing to exit your wrong trades, and then keep that gunpowder for another trade. Remember, protect your soldiers, seedlings. Be a good general. No freaking loyalty, right? No loyalty to any king or emperor. You are a freaking mercenary. You are Achilles. Protect your myrmidons from slaughter. So yeah, with that, looking at the 2-day here, right? This is where it gets really, really interesting. All right. So now we're looking at the 2-day dynamic. We've lost it. But interestingly enough, if you turn on to your Ichimoku template now, we're doing the same thing we did on the weekly time frame, guys. We started with the weekly dynamic and then switched on over to the Ichimoku, and we're combining the analysis between the dynamic and the Ichimoku, right? Those are my two favorite trend trading tools, dynamic, Ichimoku, right over here. You guys can see that we are seeing support at the bottom of the Kijun, right over here. We have the 2-day Kijun. Last time around too, guys, if you think about it, right, we lost the dynamic somewhere around here, got supported on the Kijun, 2-day Kijun, and then bounced up and reclaimed it, right? Again, I'm going to take you back to the dynamic, guys. Okay, we've lost the dynamic here. Over here, we lost the dynamic, right? Where are we getting supported? Or rather, where did we get supported over here? 2-day Kijun. Let's put that back up. 2-day Kijun, right over there, okay? 2-day Kijun. Right now, we're sitting on the 2-day Kijun, okay? Am I looking to buy over here? No, I'm not looking to buy over here. But that being said, over here, if I had bought the 2-day Kijun, it would have been a good trade. Over there, you could have made a stronger argument for buying the 2-day Kijun, though, because it also lined up with cloud support. Let me delete all these drawings here. That's probably giving you guys a headache. Where is my... All right, hide this too. Cool. So the 2-day Kijun lined up with the cloud. Okay, so essentially we had a Kumo twist here, guys. Okay, for those of you studying cloud theory, Kumo twist, you tend to get price getting sucked into Kumo twist, right? We have something similar over here too, but look how far away the Kumo twist is. Okay, so you don't have cloud support. Where is the cloud support coming in at? All the way at around $47,000. Huh, interesting. So if the dynamic, we lost the 2-day dynamic, and I have a hard rule personally, from underneath the 2-day dynamic, I have no leverage trades that I want to take. Will I be buying long-term Bitcoin? Yes, of course. If I'm looking to buy Bitcoin and store away my hardware wallet, I really don't care about this entire range. I'm willing to buy anywhere between 60,000 all the way down to 52,000. I know it's a big range for many of you, but again, you trade it using mango seed techniques. It doesn't really matter. So the 2-day Kumo twist is coming in at all the way around 47,000. If we see continuation of the 2-day dynamic trend towards the downside, right, there's a chance we lose the 2-day Kijun. Now we may come back up and test this zone over here one more time and then come back down over here. But if we do come back down over there, guys, okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The next 2-day candle, like I said, is closing in 11 hours and 22 minutes, right? That means this 2-day moving out, 2-day 200 moving average over here is going to tick towards the upside. Okay, every 2 days now that we spend going in a downtrend is essentially going to have price come closer and closer towards this 2-day 200 moving average, which is moving higher and higher, because again, this is a moving average, not a exponential moving average. If you guys haven't checked out my simple moving average versus exponential moving average video yet, please go ahead and watch it. You'll get a firmer understanding of how this works and how you can find beautiful trade opportunities just from that. It's on YouTube. Okay, this is one of the free videos that you guys can watch for free, so watch that video. So this 200 moving average is going to start moving aggressively. Then now you're going to see a confluence between the cloud Kumo over here, right, and the 200 moving average, which was very similar to how we saw the Kijun support lining up with the cloud support over here, right? But it gets better than that, guys. This is the 2-day 200 moving average, which has been a good buy opportunity several times now. Look at that, right? Ever since we started this bull run, the 2-day 200 moving average has essentially been a massive buying opportunity, right? Now, could we break it again? Yes, we could, definitely. And that's where your risk management comes into play, right? If you break it, you're wrong on your trade and you get out of that idea, right? You're wrong on your idea, it did not work out, take your loss and move on. And then guys, you can start entertaining these ideas that people have talked about of 20,000 and 14,000, right? Because we'll talk about how that idea will come to fruition. 28,000, 14,000. 14,000, I think I'm the only one saying that, but I think that possibility could occur, and you got to entertain that idea. If you're on a downtrend, you get downtrend bullish, right? Look for the big wins on your short trades. But I want you guys to see how this picture is coming together now, because this is beautiful. This is a beautiful buy the dip opportunity if we do come down there. Because if I go ahead and remove all my my scribbles, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete all of that right over there. I want you guys to picture how this is going to play out, because if that 200-day moving average actually starts moving towards the upside, okay, and we get in fact, even if we come down right now on over to the 2-day moving average without the 2-day 200 moving average moving towards the upside, I'm going to go ahead and place a horizontal on the last structural weekly low that we talked about in the beginning of this video. Okay, in the beginning of this analysis, we talked about how the weekly higher low that the trend traders are probably looking at is this one over here, right? Let me, do I have the weekly here? I believe. Yeah, this is the weekly, right? It's coming in all the way over here, all the way over here. So if we go back now all the way to the 2-day time frame, and we draw in a horizontal coming in around 40,000, okay, and then we draw in one on the wick over here, you guys can see that the 2-day 200 moving average is well above that zone, well above that zone. So we could literally wick down to the 2-day 200 moving average, that's becoming a tongue twister today, and still hold that weekly structural low. Okay, so we could still be in a high low, right? The trend would have been saved for people playing that structural higher low while giving us a retest of the 2-day 200 moving average, right? And then bouncing towards the upside. So we'll not just be having that though, we'll also be having the Kumo twist coming in right over there. But it'll also be lining up with what, guys? That weekly Ichimoku, the weekly Kijun, and the Tenkin seeing a massive dip underneath itself, and then perhaps holding the Tenkin as well, right? So think about all of this happening on a capitulation event, right? If we see all the leverage traders actually get dumped on, I'm not sure how much leverage is still in the market at these market conditions, but if we do see that kind of black swan event that everybody happens to predict correctly, right? If it does happen, that is going to be a buy the dip moment. If we do come down to around that 40,000 level on the 2-day 200 moving average, I will be taking that trade. If we are wrong on that idea, if we do break underneath, we see candles close underneath, I'll take the loss and just get out of the trade. But that idea you have to entertain, because it sits within this idea that we talked about for a very long time now, in case we do not see that 100,000 move that everybody was talking about towards the end of the year, which is what, guys? Let me go ahead and clear out all our indicators. We've been talking about a possibility of a longer term consolidation. Perhaps it takes a bit longer than that too, right? I've always been a fan of the idea that we don't see a actual run early into 2022 either, but we see it later into 2022 when everybody has pretty much given up hope, right? Because I'm pretty sure there were a lot of traders looking to trade Plan B's idea period, where they're like, we're going to 98,000 by the end of the year, I'm buying Bitcoin over here, right? They set their expectations to the point where even when Bitcoin was dumping, even when leverage was getting wrecked, the crypto fear and greed index was surprisingly high. I'm like, where's this confidence coming from, right? We've been going sideways for a freaking year now, guys. Bitcoin has been going pretty much sideways for a year, right? And people were so bullish, and I think it was primarily based on Plan B's idea, because that guy had like, what, 1 million followers. I recently found out how many followers he had. I was so surprised. I'm like, Jesus, this guy could move the market with just with his followers. He could shill a shitcoin, and that shitcoin is going to go to the moon, right? But yeah, keep that in mind that this could take longer. And for us Mongolians over here who like to trade stress-free, this is opportunity. All coins are going to be a splendid opportunity during this period to collect more Bitcoin, right? And then Bitcoin goes to the moon. I'm going to love that. I'm going to freaking just love that. I'm going to absolutely love that. So think about all of these ideas coming together, guys. We have the weekly, okay, the weekly Tenkin. So firstly, we might either see a massive wick on the weekly dynamic, or we just flat out lose the weekly dynamic, which we've done over here too, by the way. We did this over here, right? Accumulated on the 2-day 200 moving average, okay? then we may actually see us retest the top of the cloud, which we haven't done in a very, very long time. Ever since the cloud, in fact, we've not done it yet. We've not tested the top of the cloud since the cloud turned green. We've not done it yet, right? So this will be the first test of the cloud. That's going to be heavy support. That's going to be heavy support, okay? And more importantly, it's going to be the 2-day 200 moving average and the top of the 2-day cloud as well. So a lot of things coming into confluence over there, guys. On Bitcoin's dip to $40,000. So that's where I'll be looking to be a buyer. Why? Because look at that. Even the higher low will be getting defended, right? The weekly higher low. So any questions on that? That's pretty much the Bitcoin idea and how we're looking for that long-term consolidation and the dip. And that's where I'll be looking to be a strong buy. If you guys have any questions, I'll be taking them now before we move on to Ethereum. By the way, guys, was the stream stuttering or anything of that sort while I was doing that analysis? Because what I did over there was I tried to record the video too, so that I can post it separately for those who do miss the stream. Oh, wait. I do apologize. Yeah, so the good scenario, by the way, that's going to be the ugly scenario. The good scenario is that we simply bounce off the... thank you for reminding me, guys. The good scenario is that we simply bounce off the Kijun over here. Hey, Stuff FUSR. Thank you for the kind words, man. Thank you for the kind words, and happy weekend to you too, buddy. Melina says daily support at this level since October 7th. Do you mean October 7th? Let's go find it. Daily support. Oh, October's all the way here. Are you talking about I see. So you're talking about my level. You're talking about what I just discussed, essentially. Oh, you're talking about where price is. Sorry. Okay, I get it. So you're talking about here. Yeah. Okay. You know. So I should do a thing. I should do a just a wrap up on that, on what I just discussed on Bitcoin. I'll try to be as succinct as possible so that we can add it to the end of the video just recorded within the stream. How do I be as succinct as possible? So basically we can talk about, okay, I got it. So Elena is right. To wrap up, we can talk about how Bitcoin is currently sitting in a good a bad and a ugly situation. The ugly is essentially the fact that we could essentially break this horizontal over here, coming in around 52,000-ish, 53,000, lining up with not just the 2-day high over here, but also a daily candle close, I believe, coming in right over here from leaving September 6th, I believe, right? September 6th, as well as the zone over here where we broke through that support. You can see how well, rather, we broke through that resistance. You can see how well we respected it, moving on over to our next up thrust. So that's where the ugly is going to come in, because if we do break this over here, we'll be lining up with a break of the 2-day Kijun, as we mentioned, and that's likely going to lead towards a test of the 2-day cloud, along with the 2-day Kumo twist, along with the 2-day 200 moving average coming up there aggressively as well. But it's likely also going to line up with the fact that we lose the weekly dynamic. We've already lost the 2-day dynamic. So yeah, right over here, the weekly dynamic, we'll be likely losing this as well if we do see that continuation on a prolonged 2-day downtrend. So that's the ugly. The good, however, is that, hey, we actually do reclaim the 2-day dynamic after bouncing. The 2-day dynamic coming in over here, by the way, around 59,000 all the way to 57,000 after bouncing off the Ichimoku right over here, the bottom of the Kijun, right? So bounce off the Kijun over here, retest probably the Tenkin and close over the 2-day dynamic. That would be a good sign. The very good would be us reclaiming the 2-day Tenkin as well. Yeah, so I'm trying to record these streams in a way that I can, because it is a bit unfortunate that not everybody has the time to sit and watch the streams, right? Because they have to go for their 9 to 5s, etc., etc. So what I'm going to try to do, guys, I can't promise, is I'm going to try to record them in a way where I can post the videos separately for you guys as well. So Sean has been doing such a good job with the mango golden nuggets in the mango highlight section within the Discord, where he's motivating me to do these kind of things as well. So you guys motivate me, by the way. When you guys work like this and help the community grow, it motivates me to do things like this too. So please keep it up, guys. Please, you guys have no idea how much you play a role in motivating me. You guys have no idea. By the way, check out Shovin's highlight section on Discord if you guys haven't yet. Make sure to hit the reaction button so you guys get the notifications whenever he does post a highlight section. Zoo Zemming, that's a really cool name, says, I miss out some of the exit opportunity in this past 2 days. I fall into my emotional issue over executing my plan. Hey, we all go through that, man, in the beginning of a journey, and what I can say to you is hold on to this feeling that you have long enough to learn from it. Pack it on a shelf at the back of your mind where you can always look back at that shelf, right? Kind of like a bookshelf, and remember those emotions and this feeling that you're going through, and never do it again, right? So don't let it affect your trades coming forth. Don't let it make you revenge trade to make your money back. If you feel like you're doing that, I recommend turning on some video games and play video games for a tad bit before you get back into trading. But we all make those mistakes. We all go through that, which is why I say trading is a journey in self-discovery, because it will lay out on a platter who you really are, all your flaws, all your mistakes, all the things that you were able to blame other people for in other aspects of your life, in your career, in your relationships. Trading doesn't let you hide away from that. So it makes you a better person. If you become a good trader, I don't see how you're not going to become a better person. I just don't see it. If someone is a bad trader or someone's a bad person IRL, I know that either he's never traded or he's a really bad trader. One of the two. Because I was a horrible person, man. I considered myself a horrible person before I started trading, and like trading made me face my demons. Oh, you joined the seed program? That's awesome, man. welcome to the C program. Wow. Yeah, Kusha just said, by the way, Zoo Zemming is one of our new seedlings. Dude, you're going to love the initial few modules. It's going to help you so much in what you're just going through. Just watch the first few modules and then PM me. Viral video says, I found this channel since the Friday drop has been real profitable for scalps. Basically what? You've been in this channel for ages, man. What are you talking about? Unless you're talking about a different channel. He's like, I'm shaving my son's hair and listening. It's awesome. Alright, so guys, I wasn't able to disseminate this idea to you guys well enough, but I hope you guys get it. The 2-day 200 moving average is literally painting the picture for us at the moment. It is very reminiscent, like this entire picture, right? If you look at the 2-day 200 moving average, the 2-day 200 moving average is acting like the weekly 200 moving average leading up to the COVID dump, right? It's coming up aggressively. We already had a higher low off it, right? Structurally, a low at the very least. We put in the first low, then we put in a higher low. And now, while everybody is ignoring it, we may get a wick on over it when nobody would expect it. And let's put on the same picture on the weekly over here, guys. And you can see that we did something very similar here, right? Where we put in a low, had a move, higher low. Again, this is a bit of a stretch, right, to compare the two. But again, we're talking about patterns, behavioral patterns of the market. And then the COVID dump retested the 200 moving average. And you can see the 200 moving average was essentially, the weekly 200 moving average was underlining price, right? Underlining price. Now, by the way, the weekly 200 moving average is coming aggressively up towards that 20,000 region, sitting at 18,000. So I would be keeping an eye on this 200 moving average, guys. 200 weekly moving average leading into the next macro bear market. We are not in a bear market, by the way. You cannot say that this is a bear. Bitcoin has dropped 20%, guys. 20%. From a brand new freaking high. Okay, not 20%. From its most local high. It made a brand new high. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'll be keeping an eye on this as to where it comes up to. Like, the most bullish thing for me is Bitcoin's 200 weekly moving average coming all the way over here, right? Whether that happens because Bitcoin is going sideways or whether Bitcoin goes aggressively towards the upside. Bitcoin's weekly 200 moving average sitting above 35,000, 50,000 is going to be a sight to see. Because think about the two scenarios, right? Either Bitcoin has had an impulsive move and that's why the weekly 200 moving average has gone up aggressively, or two, we are coiling up for a mega bull run leading towards the next halving. Don't lose sight of the next halving, guys. It's not too long away. We are 1 month away from 2022. Then we're 2 years away from 2024. And everybody wished, oh man, I wish I bought prior to the halving. I was accumulating throughout the halving, blah, blah, blah. Everybody wished, right, that they were accumulating prior towards 2020. Jesus Christ. 2020s are halving. Why can't I speak? English is so difficult. Oh my god, 2020 is halving. Everybody wished they accumulated prior to that. This is it. 2024 is around the corner. 19k loss but not forgotten. Oh, Wolfie, he's still waiting for that bid. Do you still have that bid on the order book? That'd be funny. I literally posted a video in the middle of my beach vacation saying just buy. Like, literally my tone on that video was time to market buy, guys. Time to market buy when we close that weekly above 19,100. Is that a monthly level, Lilina? What are you talking about? 18,000 or Oh, the sideways channel. I thought. Okay, so viral video. So what he meant was the sideways channel in Bitcoin. The Mango channel has been making me money for ages. He goes on to say, "That's awesome, man. Glad to hear." Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, you've been been watching you in this channel for so long. So what? Oh, are you talking about Bitcoin sideways channel? Like something like I'll try to draw it. I'm not too good at drawing those things, but I'll try. How do you draw this? Something like this. Okay, that's yeah. I can't draw these. I don't use these tools. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna embarrass myself on live stream. How do I rotate this? Yeah, something like this, eh? You're probably looking at this. Huh, interesting. So hey, does this line up with what I'm talking about? I don't use these tools, especially since I trade Bitcoin primarily, and Bitcoin doesn't trade as smoothly as altcoins. Like altcoins are very neat in their patterns, right? Bitcoin doesn't, so I tend not to use these tools, and yeah, I just don't like how they confine me. But if I had to use my tools to draw out what you're talking about, let's go ahead and do that, which is simple trend tools. What about this, guys? What about this? Is anybody looking at this? Are there ideas saying that, hey, this is a rising wedge or something like that? Is anybody saying that? Because what would this point down to? I mean, I wouldn't call this a rising wedge. We have only two touch. Nah. Yeah, it was so hot too that day. I got sunburned for you guys. I legit got sunburned for you guys. It's yeah. I'm calling it an ascending triangle, man. I'm bullish, right? So but again, you got to understand that markets are left to interpretation when you're drawing patterns, right? So you need something objective to be able to keep you in check, which is why, like, what we would like to use right now is the 2-day 200 moving average over here, because it is, in my opinion, outlining a bull flag, which is an ascending triangle, right? Again, it's not the prettiest of bull flags, right? Let's clear out the Ichimoku. Don't need that. Now you can kind of use your triangle or pattern thingy, something like this, right? You can make an argument and say that, hey, this is your massive bull flag and this is your pole. It doesn't need to be pretty. It doesn't need to be pretty. And if we do break, we're looking at 130,000 somewhere around July, right? So this lines up with a legitimate thesis of Bitcoin having 100,000 above, leading into middle of the year. All right, so we can move on to Ethereum right now. Or do you guys want to talk about Cardano? Ethereum is looking really good, but it's not interesting. Cardano is interesting. So we can discuss Ethereum or we can discuss Cardano. Let's see. What should we do? Yeah, that's the thing. Kusha did an Ethereum video. Wow, everyone's like saying Cardano. Oh man, Jesus, the Cardano army's waking up. Jun, man. Jun again. No, Chauvin, not LTC, man. You guys don't want me to talk about LTC. Not if you're in the trade. Okay. Since you say Cardano, you guys say Cardano, we're gonna I would like to talk about Ethereum really quickly because there's not much to talk about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you guys Ethereum. So the first thing to note about Ethereum is what Bitcoin is doing. Okay, I know that may sound a bit weird, but I want to show you guys Bitcoin really quickly. Okay, there are two things on Bitcoin: weekly dynamic, okay, and Ichimoku. Okay, so look how far Bitcoin's away from its Ichimoku. Look how far Bitcoin's away from its 21 EMA, especially. Okay, Ichimoku and the 21 EMA. Bitcoin's almost at its 21 EMA. So there's two things going. By the way, a little bit of a digression over here. The 2-day Kijun is lining up with the weekly 21 EMA, coming in at 52,000, lining up with Alina's support level. By the way, Alina, I'm so proud of you. You've come such a long way ever since you joined Seed. So kudos to you. Yeah. So this is a key level. So the good is that we bounce off this level on Bitcoin, and we actually see a continuation. The bad is if we start losing all these levels. So yeah, keep that in mind. We lose the 2-day, we lose the weekly 21 EMA, lose the weekly Tenkin, and come down to test the Kijun as well as the top of cloud, as well as this ascending triangle that we just drew out. That's Bitcoin. Now we can actually talk about Ethereum, okay? And Ethereum, on the other hand, is looking freaking fantastic. You look at what Bitcoin is doing, you look at what Ethereum is doing, and you notice that, holy shit, Bitcoin shot it looks like a buy. It flat out looks like a buy on ETHUSD as well as at BTC. Kusha did a great video where she talked about a cup and handle on ETHUSD. I can go ahead and quickly draw the measured move for you guys. I believe it's pointing up to around $6,000 if we do see a continuation. Yeah, 6,050-ish. And right now we're seeing a perfect retest of the neckline of the cup and handle, which is literally right over here at 3,961-ish, right? Slightly above slightly underneath $4,000, as well as the weekly dynamic. Okay, it's beautiful. It's this confluence, right? The reason this is a beautiful buy, guys, is not because Ethereum is so bullish. It cannot be wrong over here. F 2.0, it's going to the freaking moon. Scalability, it's going to wreck Bitcoin. Ultrasound money to the freaking moon. No, not because of that. It's a great trade because you know you're wrong very, very quickly. That's why Ethereum is a good trade right now, right? Because if we lose the weekly dynamic, we close underneath this horizontal, it's easy to know you're wrong. You can get out of the trade very quickly. The weekly dynamic on Ethereum has literally been holding ever since 27th April. So it's had a literal 100% success rate since this area over here, which essentially was us looking at this huge flag, right? Waiting for Ethereum to finally break it towards the upside, make a new high. And that was the first time it did it. When it started its bull run. Ever since it did that, this is why we combine multiple concepts, by the way, guys. This is why we combine multiple concepts, because okay, it retook the dynamic over here, and you're completely valid in putting on trade over here because you had a beautiful bull flag on the weekly, broke up, retested. But over here, you had no reason to not start being bullish on Ethereum. And if you guys do remember, if you guys were watching us at Mango back then, that's when we accumulated our largest Ethereum position. That's when we were the most bullish on Ethereum, right? We were looking at the monthly combined with the weekly, and everything was lining up. It was beautiful. This entire zone over here, massive accumulation. And then we kept going. So now we'll come back to retest it, and each retest has been a buy. Okay, that's the good of Ethereum, and Ethereum is the good within these charts. To give you guys a quick recap, or rather the answer to the theme of this video as to which one is which. Bitcoin is the bad, Ethereum is the good, Cardano is the ugly. Okay, but there's opportunity within them. They all have good and bad and uglies within them. Okay, so Ethereum is the good, Bitcoin is the bad, and Cardano is the ugly. Okay, sorry to burst your bubble, Cardano fans, Cardano armies, but I have good news for you guys within the bad. Believe me, there is good news. When there's blood, there's opportunity, right? So we'll be talking about that very, very soon. Ethereum is looking fantastic. Okay, keep that in mind. It's looking really good, but it's really interesting because it's so simple to. It's not interesting because it's so simple to trade, right? And that's what we like in Mango, these easy trades. So yeah, that's a theme really quickly. I believe I have something for you guys on the Ichimoku. Yeah, this is what I want to show you guys really quickly. Ethereum is nowhere close to its 21 EMA or its Tenkin compared to Bitcoin. That looks like it could be testing its weekly 21 EMA and Tenkin very soon. Ethereum looks like it's going to test it only if Bitcoin has a weak move towards the downside, right? If we see Ethereum actually if Bitcoin sees that impulsive move towards the downside on that 2-day dynamic trend continuation, then I will look for ETHUSD to show weakness because of Bitcoin, not because Ethereum is being weak, right? Remember when we were looking at Cardano during the bull run, not Cardano's bull run, this most recent Bitcoin bull run, we were noticing Cardano show weakness compared to other altcoins. And what did we say? We said Cardano is being weak. So if I see any Bitcoin weakness, I'm expecting Cardano to just drop, right? And Cardano did that. Now you can use a similar mindset, but flip it around when you see strength, right? You'll be saying, hey, if I see Bitcoin lose its weekly 21 EMA, Ethereum might give me that chance to buy its weekly 21 EMA, but it's likely going to get bid, right? So you want to buy strength. So Ethereum coming down to this zone over here, guys, is going to be a buy opportunity, right? So this is where I will be looking to get a position on Ethereum. The ugly part of Ethereum is going to be if it comes all the way down to its Kijun and weekly cloud as well, regardless, right? So it could do that. It could do that. So that's why Ethereum is not as interesting, because on the dip, if it suddenly shows weakness, right, it could actually have a capitulation event. So I would not be looking to put on a leverage trade on this one at all. Okay. So that's the theme. Do you guys like the idea? Is the volume too low? What? Don't say that. That's not allowed. Is that better? Oh, he meant trading volume. Jesus Christ, man. It's the second time this is happening. First with the channel, then with the volume. You guys can't be talking technical terms at Mango, man. We don't entertain that kind of jargon. Alright? Not on a Sunday. We'll look at all coins. Take a quick look at all coins after I'm done Cardano. Relative sound index. Give the man mangoes. Give the man mangoes. Yeah, man. I'm glad you're keeping an eye on that. Bond market catching a bid. The market's clearly pricing in some Corona event over here by buying up the bonds, expecting deflation. But is that what happened last time? Like, did we see assets crumble long term? People buying treasuries essentially as a short-term cash equivalent because they're getting some yield as opposed to nothing, right? Because cash is essentially getting zero yield. So you buy these short to mid-term treasuries to hold some yield, and also speculating on other people also buying bonds because of fear, etc., etc. So you get some yield on a safe asset that is somebody else's debt. Kevin wants to talk about upside. Yeah, man. Dude, Kevin, most of the largest gains come from having an appreciation for the downside. Trust me, I know that concept may seem bizarre, but most people in this market lose out because they do not want to appreciate the downside possibilities. Because once you start appreciating them, that's when you start being able to buy with confidence too. Because you have a thesis of a downside move, it comes to fruition, but your thesis of a downside move has a end limit, right? It says, I'm expecting it to go from here to here, but I don't think it'll go any further than here because this over here is massive support, right? Now your bearish thesis has essentially flipped bullish at that massive support, whether it be the weekly 200 moving average, the 2-day 200 moving average that we're currently talking about, etc., right? Murali, exactly. Do you guys remember how I talked about Dixie is constantly going to be moving within ranges, right? From one range to another. As soon as it breaks out of one range, it's going to find another upper bound range. So I think Dixie is trying to hunt for that now. It's trying to look for the next upper bound range. Okay, cool. So we're going to start with Cardano now. Due to popular request, we'll be now looking at Cardano against the USD time frame. Particularly, we'll be keeping the Bitcoin time frame for another analysis session. And as usual, we're going to be starting with the dashboard, the Mango dashboard. We're currently looking at the 4-day time frame, but I want to start with the weekly, and we're going to go through all the time frames really quickly. I'm going to filter out Cardano right over here. ADA USDT. Now, we've been bearish on Cardano for the longest time, right? It's been in a short trend. It flipped neutral very briefly, I believe, but now on the weekly too, it flipped short 6 days ago. Okay, so during this entire bull run, even I don't say the entire bull run, but for the past 2 months or so, Cardano has been showing weakness while a lot of altcoins have been showing strength. Now, we have been trading Cardano aggressively prior to Cardano showing its weakness, right? We were very bullish on Cardano, but when it started showing weakness, we had to call a spade a spade. Okay, we're like, hey, listen, we're not going to lose out on opportunity cost over here. We posted a long post on C2 where I talked about Cardano's weakness along with a few other coins, and we talked about how, hey, we do not want to lose out on opportunity costs. And you have opportunity costs in 2 ways. One, you can be in another asset, or 2, you could be buying your Cardano at a lower price. And lo and behold, we saw Cardano come all the way down now to $1.50, right? So even if you're trading the weekly time frame now, 7 days ago, you got the short call and 20% returns on the short call. Now, you don't have to take a short on Cardano. If you're a Cardano fan, for example, and you're opposed to shorting it, doesn't mean you need to take a short on Cardano. What it could mean, though, is you getting out of the trade temporarily to rebuy at a better price, right? Support the market at a better price. If you're a Bitcoin holder primarily and you're trading alts to collect more Bitcoin like I am, Cardano gave you the call like 50 days ago, guys, like so almost 2 months ago, saying, hey, you're short against Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, and 50%, you could have saved 50% of your Bitcoin, and if you're looking to be a buyer long term, maybe now you want to be a buyer. We'll show you guys some ideas where maybe long term holders may be looking to buy very soon, right? So now Cardano is showing opportunity. I'll be talking about that very soon. But I want to really drill in that idea that you do not need to hold on to a coin emotionally forever unless you have a long-term thesis on something based on risk management, which we'll talk about very soon. You got to be realistic about these things, okay? So Cardano weekly looking bad. The 4-day, what's the 4-day saying? 4-day, similar story, short on both pairings, 20% returns 11 days ago on the USD pairing and 60% returns on the Bitcoin pairing. 2-day time frame, same story, short on both pairings 5 days ago. Daily, again same story, 5.5 days ago, short on both pairings. 12-hour, short 5 days ago. Wow, so 5 days ago was a massive trigger on most of the time frames, eh? So clearly Cardano flipped temporarily because it flipped temporarily, at least neutral, because for the longest time it was short either way on these pairings on the lower time frames, and the 4-hour as well is also short. So again, Cardano not looking good on all the time frames. At least Bitcoin, we talked about earlier in the stream, is still long on the weekly time frame. Ethereum is looking good. Cardano is not looking good on a trend basis, but there's a silver lining, right? So in the stream, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ethereum is the good, surprisingly. Bitcoin is the bad, unfortunately. Cardano is the ugly, but Cardano is also the most interesting. Cardano might actually be showing a lot of opportunity in the long run, especially if it does what I'm looking for it to do, because I'll be looking to be a buyer at a particular level, and I'll be giving you guys that level right now, very soon, in around 2 minutes. Let's just switch on over to the chart. I'm gonna go through a couple of time frames with you guys, and okay. So here we're looking at Ethereum. We're switching on over to Cardano. I have a tab waiting for you guys over here, and we're looking at the weekly dynamic. Okay, so the weekly dynamic. This is essentially what we were looking for Cardano to hold, hoping for Cardano to hold on its continued trend towards the upside. This candle right over here. Okay, so just a quick recap. Cardano has been holding the weekly dynamic very similar to Ethereum ever since it broke out of this zone over here. Okay, coming in all the way at 11 cents, broke out, retested perfectly, held it, accumulated on it this entire range at around 95 cents, and then had a massive impulsive upthrust to $3.10, right? So great trend against the dynamic. And then on this retest over here, we got support again, but we start seeing weakness. Each one of these weekly candles are closing red, but even then you can let that pass, right? As long, you could have a thesis saying that as long as I'm above the weekly dynamic, I am going to be staying bullish, okay? But we start seeing weakness not just on the weekly dynamic, we start seeing weakness on the dashboard. More importantly, look at the holistic scenario of what was going on, guys. We start seeing other altcoins pump while Cardano wasn't doing that, right? Cardano was moving down and not moving up, while opportunity cost was hitting you hard. So we did not like that. We were like, you know what, we're not gonna be allocating capital to Cardano, and for the past 2 months we have not been doing that, and has paid off in dividends. We said we'd rather wait for it to claim a certain level, show us strength. Mango, we like buying strength, right? Show us strength one more time, right? When Cardano broke these levels over here, it showed us strength right over here at 14, and then especially around 23-ish. I really like that level. Over here, that strength level I was looking for it to break was this little dot. When it had this upthrust, I'm like, okay, good. Looking interesting, looking good. Can it close a weekly candle above this buy opportunity line? There's a dot right over here, guys, okay, coming off the dynamic. Okay, bounce off the dynamic, buy op line right over here, coming at $2.23. Could it close a weekly above it? If it did, I'd be looking to be a buyer yet again. I'm fine losing out on this much of the move. That's 14%, yes. But on Cardano, I'd be looking for a much bigger move after that, right? I'd be looking for not just the highs, which is another 30%, but much higher, all the way up to $5. So I'm looking for 125%, 150% move, guys. Why would I care about a few percent, right? In order to protect myself. And because I did that, I stayed away from this, right? We lost the dynamic. We said if we lose the dynamic, we're going to have a move towards the downside. What do we see? Saw a move towards the downside, right? But now the question is, How far does this go? How deep does Cardano go? Where do we look for Cardano to see some support? And this is where it gets mango. This is where it gets interesting. This is where you can be holistic with your time frames, because I noticed something very, very interesting. This breakout over here, guys, didn't just come at any time, okay? This accumulation that we had over here, and then the breakout, okay? Let's switch first to the monthly level. The monthly dynamic. I want you guys to see where we're sitting. We're sitting on monthly dynamic support. Monthly dynamic support, okay? We bounced off it around the month of July, had a massive candle towards the upside. And if you just look at the monthly trend, this is looking like a pullback onto trend support. Okay, trend support. Now, does it mean that we bounce right off it again over here? We could, but I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that because of one particular time frame that I haven't shown you guys just yet. So stay tuned for that in a bit. But I want to show you guys that the upward trend, the reason I would be looking to be a buyer firstly is that the upward trend of the monthly is still intact. Okay, as long as we're holding the monthly dynamic, we're closing the monthly in 2 days and 11 hours, right? So as long as we close above here, I'd be looking to be a buyer on any dip, okay, underneath the dynamic, and a particular level I'd be looking at. Okay, so first condition needs to be met first though, is that in 2 days and 11 hours, we close the Cardano closes above the monthly dynamic, okay? If we do that, then I'll be switching on over to the 2-week dynamic over here. Now, those of you who don't have the dynamic, right, it doesn't really matter because these levels are not going to be changing. These levels are not going to be changing, and I'm literally giving it to you guys on a platter. You guys can take a freaking screenshot if you guys want. And I'm looking at the 2-week dynamic, okay? And do you guys remember how I marked out this accumulation for you guys on the weekly, where we accumulated underneath and then had the breakout above the weekly dynamic? Well, that's coming off the 2-week dynamic right over here, okay, coming around 10 cents. 2-week dynamic. We lost the weekly dynamic, guys, but we accumulated on something. What was it? It was the 2-week dynamic zone right over here, okay? Now the 2-week dynamic is coming up quick and hot right over here at $1.30 all the way down to $8.10. That's a long way to go still. Okay, so would you be looking to put on leverage trades over here? No, because that's a big move. Let's go measure it. If we come down to the bottom of the 2-week dynamic, that could be a 30% move. So even a 3x leverage could liquidate you out of your position. So don't get cute here. Don't get aggressive. Okay, because if we get our bids at around $8, let's say you get bids around $1, 10 cents, whatever, right? Somewhere around there. And you're looking for the big Cardano win to all the way to $5, guys. That's around 400 to 500%. You don't need to capture 30%. If you start seeing strength, you can start accumulating a position, right? You don't need leverage to begin with on a move like this. And secondly, you don't need to jump into the position just yet, okay? You don't need to jump into the position just yet. The monthly level is right over here. We can wait 2 days and 11 hours to see if we do see some support. If we break this level, I would not be looking to be a buyer over here, okay? I would be looking, however, to bid up a position somewhere underneath the 2-week dynamic and then look for the 2-week dynamic to hold and then have a trend continuation. So essentially something like this and then something like this. So wick underneath and then gone. So each time we've accumulated on the 2-week dynamic, guys, we've had a massive move. This was a 2000% move. This move over here, its initial impulse before the 2000% move was a 200% move. So 200% move, 2000% move, right? And now, what have we had? 200% move to a 2000% move. Could Cardano hit $23? Surprise everyone who's given up on Cardano? Maybe. maybe. But again, this is just like playing fractals, which I'm not a big fan of. But the bull market may surprise people, right? The bull market may surprise people. So we've had a 200% move off the lows, came down, tested the 2-week dynamic, and then had a 2,000% move after that. Now we've had a 200% move after first down move, first bear market, consolidation zone, this zone over here, right? We had a 200% move. Do we come, was that, did I miss that? Yeah, around 200%. And do we do something similar? Even if we do half of that, even if we do freaking half of that, guys, that's going to be a 500% move, right? So 500% move would still be around $6 to $7. So I want you guys to think about this possibility now on Cardano, because when there's blood, right, there's opportunity. And if Cardano has that move towards the downside, okay, if it does come down and test the bottom of the dynamic, that's a 30% more dump from here. That's $1. Getting to buy Cardano at $1 again would essentially mean that it's pulled back what? From its highs, a good 65%. Okay, and then to get back to its highs, just even if you trade the range back to its highs at that point, guys, it's going to be a 200% trade. A 200% trade. So think about that opportunity now, leading into any pain that we see on Cardano. All right, keep an eye on these levels. I'm going to give you guys these levels very clearly. $1.07 is the bottom of the $1.07. Yeah, $1.07, bottom of the dynamic. Top of the dynamic is coming in at around $1.31. The last time prior to this accumulation over here, which sent us to $3, the last time prior to that was all the way down over here, guys, was around 10 cents, 9 to 10 cents. Okay, let's go back to the monthly now. Let's find 9 to 10 cents in the monthly. That was somewhere, that was this candle. That was here. That was here. So think about that. Think about that. Now we're coming back. This was just the beginning of the dynamic trend. Now we're coming back down over here. We could see a wick. I guess it's 2 days and 11 hours. It's really tight. But what if you see something like this? What if we're doing something like this? You guys see it all come together now. So yeah, that's Cardano. I hope you guys enjoyed this idea. Cardano is the uglier chart of the three that we discussed in the stream: Bitcoin, Ethereum, but it is the one that may show us the most opportunity if you play this right. Ben Cause says won't ever go underneath $1.30. If it doesn't go underneath $1.30, firstly, you can never say never, man. Never say never. And that's where market participants feel a lot of pain as soon as they start using words like never. If it doesn't go underneath $1.30, where's $1.30? Actually, that's all the way here. So I mean, where you coming up with that number from? Is that a technical level? Because then you're talking charts too, right? So that's still a oops. That's still got a good 15% move, right? Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If it holds the monthly dynamic over here, right? That's going to be the first good sign. That's going to be the first good sign. Okay, the monthly dynamic is thinning out. That's an indication of volatility to come. All right. If we hold that, at that point, you're not looking towards the bottom of the 2-day dynamic. You're looking towards the top of the the bi-weekly dynamic. I'll show you guys the 2-day dynamic very, very soon. And the top of the 2-week dynamic is actually lining up with your level, man, $1.30. So there you have it, right? I would be looking for that as a bid opportunity if we hold the monthly dynamic, right? If we hold the monthly dynamic in 2 days, it's going to be good. So yeah, 2-day dynamic though has essentially been highlighting the trend for us. Look at that, beautifully. So as long, for those of you who want to be a little bit more conservative on Cardano, I just wait for the 2-day dynamic to flip green again, and live about the price as well. Okay, not just flip green, live about the dynamic. Go on over to your dynamic settings and turn off the turn on the extra cautious setting. Turn on the extra cautious setting. Yeah, and I believe Vic. So Vic says don't ever say never. If Bitcoin shits the bed to low 40Ks, Cardano will easily get to $1.07. Yeah, so, and that's gonna be opportunity, man. Like I don't want Mango community members to get emotionally involved in a coin and then miss out on an opportunity on the coin you really believe in, right? Because I've done that, and I'm thinking, damn, if I had just not had emotion, I could have had that much more of the coin I love, right? So flip your mindset around and be like, entertain the idea of lower prices, because that could be good for you, man. Like for example, I'm entertaining the idea of Bitcoin going sideways for much longer than Bitcoin bulls would want, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy with Bitcoin going sideways because I get to accumulate a lot more Bitcoin by trading the altcoins, right? Bitcoin going freaking tearing towards the upside makes it really hard for me personally to trade altcoins. So Bitcoin starts going sideways again, I'm going to have a great time. And then Bitcoin booms in 2024. This is going to be a dream. Bitcoin going lower, right, gives altcoins even more opportunity to go towards the upside and have more wins, right? Most of my wealth personally has come from trading the bear markets. I've not done as well in the bull markets compared to a lot of people. I'm not sure whether those people have kept their gains though, but the bear market is where I tend to do well. So I entertain those ideas. So and the bull market, I literally just sit back and do nothing. Right? That's what I really do. So anyways, to each their own. So yeah, guys, that was Bitcoin, Cardano, and Ethereum for you. Oof, covered a lot today. Man, the freaking dynamic is almost cheat codes at this point. A couple of people PM me saying that they've begun to become a little bit too over-reliant on the dynamic, and I had really no advice for them because I feel like I'm in the same situation, so I can't preach to anybody. I need to stop, need to start getting back into my routine of like I have this entire template over here because I used to go through so many freaking indicators. Now I don't go through as many as I used to. Hey, I'm glad you think so, Lena. You've been here so long, so I'm glad you're still learning. Yeah, so I think Cardano has strong support coming in. It's monthly support, man, and top of 2-day dynamic is good support too. But a volatile move like that wick onto the bottom of Cardano's 2-day dynamic could literally last freaking 2 seconds. 2 seconds, it could sit at $1.07 before it gets picked up. Yeah, have you guys hit the like, by the way? There's 140 of you over here and only 75 likes that I can see. Murali, I'm chasing my Janus emoji. Do you guys want to go through some freaking shitcoins? Shitcoins I've been trading, by the way. So I've nothing against anything that will make me Bitcoin, by the way. Nothing. You guys will be bewildered by the things I will do for more Bitcoin, including trade these freaking shitcoins. So these are all, so by the way, don't ever look at my lists over here, especially if they're colored like this, because the reason I color them like this is because they're short-term trades where I most likely get in and get out within, like, sometimes within the day, or sometimes within like the week. And most recently, especially since I've not been doing live streams, I've been trading a lot more aggressively. So I don't have a full-time job like you guys. So those of you who are trading full-time, by all means, trade the lower time frames. But if you have a full-time job, don't buy coins that you're not looking to hold on to. And there are very few coins that you can hold on to. I mean, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I guess Solana could be one of them. Just coins that actually have some meat behind it. Again, now these coins could have meat behind them, but I don't know anything about them. I know nothing about any of these coins, anything. So like this coin over here, made a lot of money on it, but I don't know what Decentraland is, man, other than a metaverse coin. This coin over here too, we were talking like the day before it actually started pumping hard. The day it started pumping hard, actually, on the Grove, we started talking about this one, right? And I don't know what it is. I was asking you guys, what the hell is this coin? It sounds cool. But again, be very careful trying to, like, because some people actually try to copy this list over here and just buy these coins. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. All right, CRO. This is not on Binance, right? I don't think Binance would be willing to list this coin. It looks like its weakness is coming primarily from Bitcoin. Okay. Let's do CRO BTC. we'll start with CRO BTC and see what's going on, and then we'll switch on over to the USD timeframes. All right, so we're going to be doing a quick analysis on crypto.com. Ticker symbol is CRO BTC first, and then we're going to be doing it on the CRO USD time frame as well. So right over here, we're looking at the weekly time frame, and we can see that it's come up against clear resistance on the weekly right over here. Again, this is on the Bitcoin pairing. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what the USD pairing is saying very, very soon, but we can use the Bitcoin pairing as a gauge as to see whether the USD is likely going to be having a pullback or not. The last time we did look at this was when CRO was sitting somewhere around here actually, and we were expecting it to see resistance over here. It did live above it very, very temporarily, but we're seeing the rejection as we lead into that weekly close. Again, nothing surprising over here. This is what price tends to do: draw on liquidity above a horizontal level but close underneath the horizontal. What we want to see leading into the next few weeks, if CRO is to continue its run, is to eventually start closing candles above this entire zone over here. Not just the bottom of the horizontal, guys, the bottom of the zone where we drew in our first horizontal, but above the high derived from this candle, right, where it had its massive push towards the downside. If you guys are on the C program, you guys know how much importance we'll place towards a level like that. So I'll be looking for CRO to close weekly candles, okay, above the zone over here, if it is to see its continuation. Okay, towards the downside though, if it sees the rejection and starts coming towards the downside, we have a clear bottom of the zone over here, bottom of the range coming in over here. And now this is what we were looking for CRO to break towards the upside when it was putting in its massive consolidation. And when it did break towards the upside, you guys can see that it not just cleared a candle close above that horizontal, but it took out this high over here, right? Took out that high, and immediately the market respected that and saw continuation towards the top of the range. So if it does come down, the ugly scenario is that it comes all the way back down towards the range over here, right? But we can draw a mid of the range coming in somewhere around here at around 870 Satoshi. Okay, so that's the middle of the range. So we have the top of the range coming at around 1800 Satoshi, bottom of the range coming in around 400 Satoshi, middle of the range 800 Satoshi, 858 Satoshi. So that's a long range to play, so a lot of opportunity. And this could happen through multiple ways. It could either happen through CRO just really, really underperforming in these market conditions, or Bitcoin tearing right towards the upside. We don't know whether Bitcoin's going to tear or whether CRO is going to underperform. If I had to bet though, I think CRO actually just consolidates over here and breaks this zone towards the upside. I actually think that's what's going to happen. I think that's going to be the surprising thing, and that's what's going to happen. It's not going to actually have anything meaningful towards the downside. Perhaps test the middle of the range over here. We can turn on our Ichimoku to see if the Ichimoku is lining up perfectly. Actually, the Tenki and the Kijun coming in around that zone. I'd expect it to come and get defended on the Tenki over here. The 21 EMA all the way down there. Oof, no, I wouldn't expect that to happen. Not really. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but I'd be expecting this to get picked up. So that's CRO on the Bitcoin pairing. Okay, now that we got a gauge of what it could be doing against Bitcoin, we can switch on over to the USD pairing. And on the USD pairing, I'm going to switch on over to the weekly. I'll take a sip of water really, really quick. Yes, this is water. Since I don't know what YouTube's terms and conditions are in regard to this, it is water. But that being said, we're looking at CRO on the weekly time frame over here. This is looking freaking fantastic. Yes, looking a bit toppy over here, but we did have a beautiful, beautiful weekly consolidation coming in over here. And this again, this is a strong chart volume coming in as well. Now, when you see a weekly consolidation break towards the upside and you're on your impulsive move, right, all you can really do at that point is start zooming into the lower time frames, the mid time frames in this case, because your higher time frame is the weekly, and then start looking for consolidation, right? So you start seeing a week. So this is how it works, guys. This is how it works. Weekly consolidation. I'm going to draw it out for you guys. Weekly consolidation into impulsive move. And now within the impulsive move, you start looking for the lower time frames, right, compared to your high time frame consolidation, have a pullback in consolidation as well. Now that could come in the form of a bull flag, a falling channel, and then the continuation as well after that, right? So weekly impulsive move. Now we're going to look towards the daily, the 12-hour, the 2-day, etc. for consolidation. And you can see that within the weekly impulsive move, we had a pullback on the 2-day, impulsive move, pullback on the 2-day. So what's going on over here? Let's drill down even a bit lower. Let's look at the daily. Now the daily is giving us a little bit more information, right? We're seeing a little bit of some toppy action over here, right? Nice doji, took out the low, right? Gravestone candle, took out the low of the gravestone candle over there. Seeing continuation. We tested the level, and we're seeing some rejection of that, looking a little bit bearish over here. So we can dig in further into the lower time frames to see what's going on. And let's look at the 12-hour now. So 12-hour over there is putting in a lower high. Okay, 12 hours putting in a lower high. Now the question is, does it put in a lower low to see continuation? So we have a high, lower high. Do we put in a low and see continuation? For that, now you want to step back up to see whether the daily will step in and support it. Okay, you want to step back up a time frame. So we're going to step back up a time frame now. Okay, and we're going to turn on the dynamic to give us a objective bias. Dynamic is right over there. Okay, let's look at the 12-hour dynamic. It should be resistance. Okay, so we have 12-hour dynamic support as well. So we reclaimed the 12-hour dynamic. On my first glance through this, I thought we had lost the 12-hour dynamic, but we reclaimed the 12-hour dynamic as well. So this is actually looking good. So 12-hour dynamic and daily dynamic is now support on CRO. Now, what I want to check out is the oscillators, because right now the daily is looking weak through a price action basis. But what are the oscillators telling us? Are the oscillators telling us that, hey, you have any sort of divergence, bullish or bearish, coming on over to our support or our resistance levels? Currently we're sitting at support, so what we want to look for is bullish divergence to give us confluence towards the upside of that bullish support, right? So bullish divergence on bullish support. And are we seeing any bullish divergence over here, guys? Are we? I want you guys to answer, those of you on live stream. And the answer is yes, we are. We are seeing bullish divergence between this point, and this point over here, right? So price is not putting in lower lows, while the oscillator has put in a drastic lower low, right? So how does this get triggered? If this horizontal over here, drawn in a couple of minutes ago, if we start closing daily candles above this horizontal around 80 cents, I'll be looking for the bullish divergence to trigger. Again, remember guys, you can get a early bid if you're bullish, especially on Bitcoin. What we talked about in the earlier part of the stream, coming in off that 2-day Kijun, that weekly 21 EMA, etc., weekly dynamic on Bitcoin too. If we start seeing Bitcoin play its move out to the upside, I think CRO gets a bid here. Daily bullish divergence, etc. However, when is this idea invalidated? We close a candle underneath the daily dynamic, actually, because we have the low lining up with it. Close a daily candle underneath the zone, underneath 64 cents. I'll be looking for a move all the way down to, you don't want to know, but first 40 cents, then 23 cents. So yeah, that is CRO. All right, so we could consider that our shitcoin analysis of the day. We look at more coins too, but I just want to take a quick look at Bitcoin as well. Cardano's surprisingly aggressive on its downtrend, man. Surprisingly aggressive. Had a bit of a fake out here too, but again, if you are playing the weekly time frame on Cardano, you would have been a bit more safe. I mean, how would you draw this? Like, you keep, that's the thing, right? About falling channels, people keep adjusting their line. They're like, it's gonna bounce, here, guys. It's gonna bounce, and it's gonna tear towards the upside. And you keep adjusting it, and then suddenly you're like looking like this. It's one of the reasons why I try to stay away from patterns. Jesus says, Vechain holding strong at 11 cents, but I've been anticipating for the dip. Had to get out of that move in a loss. Yeah, man, you gotta take losses before they get worse. Good job on taking that loss. Well done. So BTC still within the channel that I'm looking at. Again, as long as it's respecting the channel, we're looking at the channel, right? But USDT is what you guys care about, though. This is going sideways. It's not looking as bad as a lot of other coins. It's consolidating still. Had a bit of a fake out there. Yeah, ugly fake out about the weekly dynamic too. Dump back almost immediately. But this picture by no means is ugly at all. By no means is ugly. Could see support here, maybe, right? Definitely trendline support. But I'd be looking to catch a bid around 9 cents to 8 cents. Philip Cole, XRP USD. Yeah, sure, man. Let's go XRP USD T. Sitting on range support over here at 95 cents. So yeah, bottom of the range support. I actually like this level for XRP. If it loses this level over here, I'll be looking for it to. Oh man, I have some drawings from the last stream over here. Yeah, but sitting at range support around 91 cents. If we do see Bitcoin see its support and see continuation of those levels that we talked about in the earlier part of the stream. Remember, guys, everything hinges off Bitcoin, which is why you guys got to keep an eye on Bitcoin. If we start seeing Bitcoin hold support, XRP is likely going to bounce here, make its way to the top of the range. That's a good move. 40% move, and then after that, let's remove all my drawings here. This could turn. Wait, I'm not going to remove my drawings because I trust those drawings. I'll remove my scribbles because that's what's bothering me. Jesus. Okay. And I'll remove the dynamic. If we start seeing XRP actually start breaking out of this consolidation over here, right? Especially if it starts clearing above first 133 and then it starts clearing above this level over here, 156. I think it could get explosive, but until it does that, you gotta play the ranges. And be safe. XRP is on 2-week dynamic support, says Julian. Let's take a look. Yeah, but it's been chopping around the 2-week dynamic. That's the thing. The weekly and the 2-week. I would not play XRP on the dynamic personally. I would use it as additional support levels if it's aligning up my support and resistance. But until it breaks this range over here above 157, similar to how we start playing it over here, right? Only after broke its consolidation can you actually play the trend. Wait for it to break its consolidation, then we can play the trend. But yeah, the weekly dynamic is it is playing off it, right? You can see it's playing off it. It's playing off it. It's on my favorite chart. Yeah, XRP. Krisha likes XRP. She likes trading the chart. She doesn't know anything about the coin. Alright, so how long have I been streaming? Jesus. Oh, Matic. Yeah, I'll take a look at Matic and then we'll wrap up. Matic. Short on the 4 hour. But that was 2 days ago. What's the weekly saying? Weekly still saying long, 9 days ago. So it's, 91 days ago. It's clearly doing better than Bitcoin since we got the long call on this one. 4-day neutral, 2-day neutral. against Bitcoin. See, there you go. Bitcoin's outperforming Bitcoin. Daily, Bitcoin long, interesting. Short on the daily, short on the 12-hour, short on the 4-hour. All right, so oh man. This one's interesting, yeah. I think this one could have an explosive move when it does start running, but for the past month now, it's just been sold into as soon as it had like a very ugly fake out over here. Even though the chart looks so beautiful, right? Had a very like in hindsight, this is something you can only see in hindsight, unfortunately. Like this is looking very trappy, right? Because it seems like it found resistance in this entire liquidity zone over here. Like this is not something that I could have even so this is the only clue that you had on Matic, by the way, is that if you guys do remember, this zone over here I was very cautious on. Like Kush and I had done a stream and I was like, I think this is a trap, right? Just based on certain things that we look at. Won't go over it right now, but this zone over here, I was looking at that as a, man, that's very trappy. And it did end up being a trap because we saw a massive down move after that. Over here, unless I missed something, I wasn't expecting this to get sold into the way it did, and now you can see how hard this got sold into over here, right? So even though it broke back into the range over there, the market immediately got sold into. Why? Because there are a lot of trap traders over here who took this breakout trade, right? And then we close underneath. So you're wrong on your trade, right? You're invalidating on your trade, and then you expect this. Because let's say I was on the trade and I was still in the trade right over here. I see this opportunity, I'm selling into it, period. That's it, I'm out of the trade. Thank you very much, market, for being generous to me. And that's what you're seeing over here, traders getting out of their trades. So now that traders get flushed out and the trap happened, people got sold into, or rather, they were essentially end up being liquidity for people to get out of the positions and then reaccumulate somewhere around here, maybe a little bit lower. Look for the consolidation to continue. That's all it's doing. It's consolidating with a little bit of trappy action. So when the move does come, it's going to be pretty hardcore. That's what I can say about Matic. All right, guys, I'll be wrapping up now. It's dinner time. My fast is going to be coming to a conclusion. I'm so hungry, so famished. 19 hours into this fast, I believe. Maybe 20. So hungry. Cheers, Francisco. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. By the way, Bitcoin just closed a important 12-hour candle. We can go take a look at it. It's looking pretty ugly. Oscillators are indicating bullish divergence on the 12-hour time frame, by the way. Oscillators have been literally dumped on the 12-hour though, so it could go for one more move towards the downside. I wouldn't be too surprised at all. The daily is not showing any not showing any bullish divergence at all, but oscillators are looking to cross towards the upside, perhaps 4 hour. So lower time, I'm just looking at the lower time frames because we already discussed the higher time frames, guys. 4 hours interesting, but nothing much. Oscillator swinging towards the upside along with the 12-hour. That signature could mean that if we start seeing 12-hour candle, if the next 12-hour candle closes above 54,000, guys, I wouldn't be surprised to test 56 to 57. Okay, but that could lead to continuation all the way up to 60,000-ish to 60,700. So yeah, that's just some lower time frame stuff that you guys can be looking at, like a falling channel of sorts as well over here. guys see the idea? Cheers, Julian. Thank you for joining the stream. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Always a pleasure to have all of you here. Murali, Julian, Jesus, Sherwin, all the regulars, Dalwinder Singh. I hope I'm not forgetting any names. Wolvie's in here as well. Wick as well. Thank you for joining, buddy. Any upcoming gems, features in the making for the Mango View? Yeah, we do have something coming up in the Mango View. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, for those of you who are interested in either the Mango Dashboard or the Mango Dynamic or the Mango C program, by the way, there is a Black Friday sale that is currently running. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but clearly I'm not the best with with this stuff. But yeah, there's a Black Friday Black Friday sale that I believe I don't know if it's still running. It could have ended already. I'm not sure. You guys are gonna have to ask Krisha, but I'm pretty sure it's till the end of Sunday, right? So it should be still running. The discount code, I believe, is Black Friday, right? So just like one all caps, one word. So it should work on all programs, the seed, the dynamic, the dashboard as well. So if you guys are interested, take advantage of it while you can. And yeah, we do have updates coming up in the Mango View as well. Some actually a new feature coming up very, very soon. The sale is on until today, 11:59 Pacific time, says Krisha. Okay, cool. There you go, guys. So Krisha put up a pin message for you guys too, saying, by the way, Mango's Black Friday sale expires today, 11:59. Cool. Francisco Medina says, I'll be more of a regular. Hey, join the Discord, man. Like, I don't have a regular streaming schedule, so if you are looking to be a regular member of the Mango community, you should join the Discord at themangoway.com/discord. Be part of the Mango fam. We have some great people in there. Again, it's themangoway.com/discord. Themangoway.com/discord. You guys can see I'm so tired. I'm looking towards adding all of the FTX coins on the Mango dashboard. The Mango View, yeah. So if you guys want any new coins in Mango View, then vote in the Discord thread, right? We have a Discord thread just for that. Oops, apologies. And again, thank you all of you for joining. It was a great stream. I missed you guys so much. Krisha's like, but Sean, it's a Sunday. You're tired. Blah, blah, blah. Don't do it. I'm like, no. I'm going to do it. And I did it. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll see you guys at the Mango Grove. Cheers, guys. Enjoy your gin.